Hello everyone, my name is Vivek Jain, and in this video I am going to give a presentation about the volatility tool. So this tool is used in cyber forensics purpose. So this is the home page of the Volatility Foundation. So this tool is basically an open source tool, and it is developed by the open source community, that is the Volatility Foundation. So this is the home page, and this is the downloads page of Volatility. So from here we can download the tool. So this tool is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux platforms. So from here we can download the tool. So here we can see it is also present for Mac OS and Linux support. So I have already downloaded the Linux executable, and so I will be using this Linux version of this tool for uh, for using some basic cyber forensics features of this tool. So as it is open source, we can see here is it is a GitHub repository of this tool. So from here also we can download the volatility code for the code of this tool, and for running this tool from this repository we need Python, as this tool is developed in Python only. So here we can see it has 99% of Python used. So in this documentation they have mentioned the supported image files, and these are all the Windows supported versions, and Linux and Mac, and from this link we can download the image files. So I have already downloaded one from here. So it has image file from various platforms for Linux and Windows and Android platforms. So I have downloaded one and I will use that only. So here they have mentioned that Python, we can use Python 2.6 or later, but we cannot use Python 3. So we need Python 2 for running this code. So so we can use this tool by through running this code, and also by running the executable. So I have already downloaded the executable file, and I will be using the executable file. So before using this tool, I just want to give a brief introduction about the what this tool do actually. So as the name suggests, volatility, so it is used to analyze the volatile memory of a system. So volatile memory is basically the physical drive that gets deleted, the physical memory that gets deleted after the power is turned off in a system. So basically when system crashes due to any reason, the operating system creates a dump of the memory files. So memory files, by memory files I mean the RAM of the system. So all the contents of the RAM is stored as a dump. So for later, that this dump file can be analyzed later, that why the system crashed, and it is basically used in debugging the system. So OS creates a dump file to so that we can check it later. So this dump file, but this dump file can also be used for cyber forensics purposes, and we will look into the cyber forensics point of view of analyzing this dump file. So I've already downloaded a dump file. So this is the dump file. It is about 500 MB in size, and I will analyze this dump memory image file from by volatility tool. So for starting, first I will check my volatility tool, so is it working fine or not. So -h command is the help command for volatility. So here we can see we have version 2.6, and so these are the various options for so this is the command line tool, so we can use it from command line only, and we don't have GUI feature in this tool. So these are all the options we have. This is -help we have used, and -file is the file name for specifying the file name, and these are all the plugins that are available in this tool. So this tool is highly expandable, so more and more plugins could be added. So there are variety of plugins, so there are many things we can do with this tool, but in this video we will be doing some basic stuff with this tool. So I will just start with the first command that anyone would run on any image file. So right now we don't know anything about our memory image file, so first thing I would do to extract some information about it. I need some information about it. For that I will use the memory info meminfo module of this tool. So I'm just specifying the file name by -f. This is the file name memdump.pin, and then image info. So volatility is determining profile based on the KDBG search. So it is trying to determine this image file. So for in what OS this image file was generated. So it is trying to determine that. So as the file size is large, it will take some time to. So it took around 2-3 minutes to analyze this file, and this is the output of the image info command. So here the volatility had determined 3 Windows profiles for this image file. So by when I can guess it is the Windows operating system, and there are another things like a number of processors, and the date and time when this image file was created. So we now know the suggested profile, so we can use any of these 3 profiles to start analyzing our profile. So first thing I want to know about this image file is that what were the processes running at the time when this image was captured. So for that I can use the pslist command. So for that I'm using volatility -f file name is memdump.pin, and then -profile for specifying the profile, and here I have used this profile, and finally pslist is the action I want to do. So this command basically shows all the current running processes in the system when at the time when the image was captured. So it is same as the ps command we run on our system. So it gives information, lot of information, like the process ID, the parent process ID, and the start time of the process. So we can see which process was started first and which process were started later. So there are other process other commands in the volatility for listing the processes running. So another such command is the ps3 command. Like if we want to see which are the parent processes and what are the child processes to that process, we can use the ps3 command. Like for like we use ps list, we can use the ps3 command. So here it is. So this is the first one, is the parent process, and with single dot is a child of that parent process, and these two dots say that this third and fourth ones are the child processes of the second process. Likewise, so these are the all the processes. Like here also we can see this is the process ID of the second process, and its parent process is 4, that is process 1. And for third process, this is the process ID, and 372 is the parent process ID. So 372 and 372, so both are for the second process. And likewise for the 3 dots, we can see this is the parent process ID 444, and this is the parent. So likewise we can check which are the parent processes and which are the child processes. Now one interesting thing is that there are some processes which are not listed from these two commands. So generally the malicious processes like malwares, they try to hide themselves. So these processes are not shown in the ps list command. So for that we have a command in volatility, that is the psxview. So psxview basically list all the processes, including the malicious processes. Like the output of this command psxview is here. So we can see first we had run the ps list command, and these were all the processes that we got in the ps list output. So these true, for which the here it is true, these were the processes that were listed in the ps list command. So there are other processes also, they were not listed in the ps list command. They are flagged as false here. So here we can see that this process, for this process the process name is not there. So we can guess it might be a malicious process. So so in psxview we generally examine the guess the malicious processes by seeing the flags in the various columns. So basically the processes for which the flag is true in only one of the columns are supposed to be malicious, and we can examine these processes further to know what these processes are doing. So like in the starting there are all true. So these processes may not be malicious, and by this way we can further narrow down our search for the for knowing what malicious activities are going on. So these were the important process commands, 3 important process commands. So if we want to see what are the what was going on the network on this system at the time, so we can use we have some commands related to the network that we can use. So there is a command in to check the open sockets in volatility. So we can check the open sockets by using the sockets command. So here we get all the list of all the open sockets. So these are the list of both the TCP and UDP sockets, and this is the socket creation time, and process ID is also mentioned. And so we can link it with the malicious process, which process using which port and which address. So like if we want to narrow down our search to only TCP sockets, and we can also use the grep command along with it to search only TCP sockets. So so here is one advantage of using the for volatility being the command line tool, that we can use the pipe operator to narrow down our search and link various commands. So like here we got only the TCP open sockets. So there are more network commands, like we have connection scan command. So these are all the connections and the system and the time when this dump was created. And here also we have process IDs associated with it. So so if some user is trying to access some malicious website, so from this remote address we can check through which servers the user was connected, and we can further scan these IP addresses to know which of them are malicious, and we can search for the particular process, what this process we are doing. So if we already know, then we can also use the grep command with it to search a particular IP if we already know that the user was connected through some malicious IP address. So like we got this. So likewise we can limit our search. So one more command related to network is the net scan command. So this command has given an error that this command does not support profile this. So in the starting, when we started, we actually had 3 suggested profiles for this file, for this image. So we had used the first one. So there may be some commands which are not supported by a particular profile. So for that we can use different profiles, like we can use the second one and third one. So I have already used the second and third Windows profile, but this command does not work with this profile. So this might be this might be because this image file is very old, like it is from 2012, and this might not support this command. So these were the 3 important networking commands. So there are another commands also, like if you want to know the history of what user was doing, like the command line history, what commands user run before the system crashed. So for that we have a command like cmd line command. So this cmd command lists all the last executed commands by the user. So here we can see what were the recent commands it executed. So we can see in the last command executed is this memory dump dot bin, So so this is the command through which this memory dump file is created. And so before that all these commands were executed. So through these commands also we can guess about the activity what was going on in the system. Like here we can see explorer.exe. So explorer might be the internet explorer. So and we have the process id of this command. So we can check further at what about more about this process, and check which ip addresses were used where. So from ip address we can check where from which websites the user was surfing before the system crashed. So these are all the basic things, basic commands of volatility that we can use, and this is a very powerful tool to analyze. So basically the image files are we cannot judge the image file. We cannot work directly with the volatile memory of the system, but through this tool we can easily check check like at the runtime what were the things that were happening in the system. So it is very useful, and that's all, and thank you for hearing. Thank you.